So for this particular question, you have the line intersection postulate, which states if two lines intersect, then their intersection is exactly 1 point. And that's the formal statement of that postulate. However, in this question, you have two students, Jerome and Hailey, who think that it needs to be more detailed. So let's have a look at each one of theirs in comparison to this and basically see like why each one is correct in its own way. It's just some are just like stating more options than others. Because we look at Jerome's statement says two lines intersect at exactly 1 point, no points, or an infinite number of points, in which case the two lines coincide. So basically what's going on with that, let me draw a line here. And a copy of that line. Okay. Now this line has, as we're going to learn more about it, and as you learned a bit in algebra, lines that have the same slope are parallel to each other. So these lines, they're two distinct lines, will never intersect each other. Now, if I make this one, let's see if I could change the color of it. If I make this one blue here and I put it over here, and it's going the same direction, and they do intersect each other, but we don't call that an intersection. We usually call that being that the lines coincide. And he brought that into consideration, but I mean he's technically right. I mean these two lines are touching at every point along each. I mean so, and then of course, if the lines are oriented in any kind of other way, they'll intersect, and they only intersect in 1 point. So Jerome is correct. I mean, he's just stating all the cases. But if you come back to here, the line intersection postulate does say if the two lines intersect. So, in the case here, we're not considering the fact that they're parallel. We've already excluded that. So it's saying they have to intersect each other. And by formal definition, intersect does not usually include being the same exact line. So still correct here. We go to Hailey's. If two distinct lines in the same plane intersect. She has in the same plane, and again, she's right. I mean, because even when I draw them here, and I'll draw a second line, make it blue here. Well, try to make it blue at least. Good, now it's blue. These two lines intersect. Now they're in the same plane. I mean, your screen is acting as a plane. But the fact of the matter is, she's limiting it to a very specific instance here, and it doesn't have to be in the same plane. I mean, she's not wrong to say it, but this doesn't have to be the case. It doesn't have to be in the same plane for them if they intersect, and them to be to only intersect in 1 point. So the in the same plane does not have to be said. Is it wrong that she says it? No. But basically, if you eliminate that statement, if two distinct lines intersect and their intersection is exactly 1 point, is basically what the line intersection postulate says. It says if they intersect. So again, if I draw the lines, okay, and I draw another line, and they intersect each other, they're only going to intersect each other at 1 point. No matter how I move this, since these are straight lines, they're going to intersect in 1 point. Only if the object is curving can it intersect the line a second time. So that's the explanation. So all three of them are technically right. Hailey adds, as I said, Hailey added a detail that does not have to be the case. But if they're in the same plane, they intersect. They are going to intersect at 1 point. But they could do that in three-dimensional space as well. Whereas Jerome's, I think the only thing, recognizing that the two lines coinciding is the same as them intersecting each other in infinite places, that's nice and all. But again, that isn't what we call an intersection. We call it being coinciding. So, so the fact of the matter is, when they basically say here, if two lines intersect, that eliminates them being parallel. and that eliminates them coinciding. So just by this, and that's why this statement is the accepted postulate, because it's brief to the point and basically states what it needs to state. That's all I have for this. If you have any further questions, please consult your teacher. Until next time, have a good day.